my name is Herchran Singh. I grew up in Rochester, Minnesota, so that's where I always say I'm from, but I am a first-generation immigrant. I was born in Canada. My journey to medical school, because I grew up in Rochester, I was surrounded by the Mayo Clinic and medicine a lot of my life, but no one in my family, my direct family, is in medicine in any capacity. No one's a physician or a nurse. So a lot of my influence came from family, friends, or just being in that community. And I always kind of knew that's what I wanted to do for a line of work, is work in medicine. And then when I went to undergrad, I did a liberal arts education. I tried everything from philosophy to history to pre-modern East Asian studies and even bronze casting and modern dance. And I pretty much always narrowed it down to I like the hard sciences, I like biology, and I have a passion for working with people. And after graduation, I worked for a nursing home and felt that I really wanted to pursue medicine, specifically working with underserved communities, and that's how I found SOMA. This place, because of the nature of how we go out to community health centers, connects you immediately with underserved communities, and because that's what I want to do for my career, not just for school, it seemed like the best option. It has worked out really well. I think the thing that makes SOMA so special is the faculty who are able to foster community even when we are at our community health centers. So that really fueled my education for my first and second year, even through the pandemic. And then being in an underserved area like Portland, Oregon, was really eye-opening because we weren't tied to one specific hospital. I kind of got to experience what all of the hospital systems in that big city faced in terms of underserved, and as well as dealing with the pandemic and how that exacerbated those issues. And so I felt that my education, specifically in the clinical clerkships, was really supported by the mission of SOMA. So I matched into obstetrics and gynecology, which I'm really, really excited about. It's such an honor and privilege to be able to be in that specialty, especially at this time. And as a DO, I think we need more people to go into that field and bring the osteopathic philosophy with us. I'll be at Central Michigan University in Saginaw, Michigan. And so I'm excited to start that journey, actually with one of my classmates too. I'm very familiar with our class specifically because I was our class vice president for the last 4 years, and then had the opportunity to be the student body president for a year during my second year. And so that really helped me personally stay connected with my peers and with other members of the student body. I think each individual community health centers, each CHC has its own group and family, I would say, but there's a lot of connection between each other using social media. A lot of us stayed connected with our first year orientation group, which is different from our CHC. So being able to stay connected just through the internet was very valuable. And then coming together for graduation and at conferences, it was really beautiful to see how everyone was able to maintain those relationships. My favorite memory is actually from campus. It was one of the last things that we did on campus before the pandemic happened my first year. We had the Diversity Festival, and a group of my classmates and I, and even some of the students from the PA department and dental school came and joined together to make a big dance performance for the Diversity Festival. We did a Indian style dance called Bhangra. It's like Punjabi folk dance, and it's something that I've done growing up and some of my classmates have done growing up, and it was really nice to be able to teach it to people who didn't necessarily do that, but were kind of part of our community, and like share that with the student body. So my message to pre-med students in general is always, be 100% certain that you want to pursue medicine and for the right reasons, because it's a really long road. If you end up coming here and not wanting to follow through, it's a difficult change. So be sure beforehand, try to talk to as many people as you can and hear about the stories. And if your heart really wants to still go into medicine, then by all means pursue it, because no one can stop you if your heart is set on that. I think for SOMA specifically, I think people need to be leaders. You need to be adaptable, and you need to be able to communicate your concerns and advocate for your needs, just because of the nature of our school being spread out across the country, but also because of the nature of our administration, who are willing to hear feedback and listen to students and take their input and apply it forward. So a lot of that ownership comes down to the student. So I think if you have a lot of self-agency and autonomy, you would do really, really well at SOMA. Oh my goodness, so this is a big deal. I mentioned that I was a first-generation immigrant earlier, but I'm also first-generation medical student, first-generation in medicine, and the first person in my family to be receiving a doctorate degree. And so it's really an emotional moment for me personally and for my family. I started this journey with my dad. He was the only person from my family that came with me to my white coat ceremony. And he passed away during my second year of medical school, which was really, really challenging for me and for my family. And it's bittersweet coming to commencement and not having him here with me, but I have the rest of my family with me, my mom and my siblings, and my grandpa, my dad's father, is with me, and they're all very, very proud. So this is really for them, and I think my degree is actually for my dad.